All right, welcome back to another edition of the Founders Table. Pull up a chair to the Founders Table, have real conversations with real founders and the issues that you face. We got time for just a quick one?
Quickie.
Oh,
got time for a quickie.
Well, that's kinky. Last week we talked about straight, you know what, and today we're talking about quickies. Where is this going? All right, so we pull the cards.
Straight pussy and now quickies.
If you're just tuning in, we're really sorry for you. Go back and listen to the previous episodes.
All right, ready?
Oh, this is a long one.
Opinion on the detached executive CEO stereotype. Didn't we just?
I think we kind of just did.
That was very similar. Yeah, we're gonna bypass that because last week's episode was very similar to red flags as a CEO.
And you actually,
I actually said
you
that.
actually talked about the detached CEO. So this card is out of the deck.
All right, I'm gonna go green right here.
All right, what is it?
Sacrifices every CEO must make. Ooh, that we could actually talk about.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So this is interesting because these were pulled from like the top 100 issues that founders face, and I think we're sensing a theme here. Last it was the job of the CEO, or sorry, red flags of the CEO. We just got the detached CEO stereotype, and
now it's sacrifices.
So obviously, like I think it's lonely being a CEO.
Yeah, it is. It is. One couple sacrifices I could talk about is I always bring my work home with me, and then that causes me not to be as present with my family. I'm sure you deal with that all the fucking time. And I just have to, and they get it, and my wife gets it, but the phone calls don't stop, the weekends, the nights, the coming home and thinking about work for the day, and she's trying to tell me about her day, and meanwhile I'm thinking about the issue we have to solve by tomorrow or whatever. So that's I know it might not sound like a sacrifice, but when you eat, sleep, and breathe this shit 24 hours a day, and you're sacrificing the time to be present with your kids and your wife, it is a big thing. For me, the travel too. I get, I travel a lot. I go to Jersey a lot, to the other office, away from my family, and as I get older and older, man, like I used to like that stuff years ago. Now, like, I just want to be home, man.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Like, I'm more and more of a homebody, and more as I get older and older, I realize that the only people that are going to be there at the end of the day is your family.
Right.
And like, so a week away from my family is a week that I'm not going to ever get back.
Yeah, 100%.
I was just gone for 10 days, and I had an amazing trip. We were in Utah together when, in Naveen's and Advisor, and then went to Jersey. I had a good trip with the Jersey guys. We had some leadership stuff, took them out to dinner, had a good positive week, good week of sales. But, my wife's at home dealing with the kids and dealing with this and dealing with problems with the house and the landlord and the fucking stray cat that she kidnapped. So, like, those are big sacrifices. And the other thing, too, with sacrifices is that, like, you live and die by this, man. Your business is very risky as it is. And if it don't work, like, look, we're building a business here. I'm not, like, everything depends on this. I don't have a pension. I don't have like a cop who puts in 25 years and then he gets health insurance forever.
You don't have a guaranteed salary.
Yeah, no. If we have a bad month, I might not get paid for the fucking month.
Right.
Nothing's guaranteed. Sure, the upside's why we do it, right? But like nothing's guaranteed. You could go out of business just like that. Anything can happen.
Yep.
You get torpedoed at any time when you don't think it's coming, like COVID.
Yep.
We almost didn't fucking make it out of COVID. Everybody else had their jobs waiting for them after COVID. You know what I mean? We almost lost the fucking business during COVID. I had to start from day one, no income, start from the ground up again and just find a way to make money. So, as much as it looks glorious to be a CEO or to own a company, man, it's fucking hard, dude.
Well, I think time is probably the ultimate sacrifice. I think time, I'm listening to you like talk about not being present at home and not being able to shut off. And like, it's the truth. Like and the travel thing is real as well.
You travel like fucking crazy.
Well, and there's just, dude, like as we're sitting here, my phone is just blowing up with text messages. Like, and then you got to get back to all of those people. And it's like, and I think you start out being a CEO or you start out being a founder because you want time freedom and financial freedom.
Yeah.
And then you find out that you have neither for a long time. But I think it's the willingness to sacrifice that time that amplifies, done right, it amplifies time and money on the back end. So you have to understand that, like, you're going to, like our friend Nick Alfano, he goes, you left the 9 to 5 to be an entrepreneur thinking it was going to be a better life, but you signed up for the 9 a.m. Or the 9 to 9.
The 9 to 9.
The 9 a.m. to 9 a.m., 24/7. Dude, I woke up this morning, like, just thinking about all of this, And, like, I hadn't even been up, for that long, and then my phone's ringing, and it's you. And it's like, hey, we're still on for the, the thing. And I'm like, yes, of course, we're on for the thing.
Kenzie's been on my ass about it.
I know. But, like, that's the thing is, like, yesterday my time got completely nuked. It completely evaporated. And, man, you talk about not being present. Like, I can't tell you how many times my body is physically present somewhere, and my mind is elsewhere. Like, the world sometimes sounds like wah, 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 like Charlie Brown's teacher, because I just have 1,000,001 things going on in my mind. Dude, I'm supposed to be in Florida right now. I'm supposed to be in Florida, like, as we speak.
When are you going, tomorrow?
I take the red eye out tomorrow.
Oh, tonight?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow night?
Yeah, tomorrow night. So I got a full day of meetings. Like,
you're taking the red eye and going right into the meetings?
Yeah.
You better fucking drop a Xanax on that fucking plane, bro. Sleep.
I did. It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm there, and then, like, I'm like, shit. I just realized that I have to fly back to Florida the next week, and so now I'm like, I text the guy going, hey, can I come early? Because I don't want to fly all the way across the country, or to fly all the way back, to fly all the way back, to fly all the way back. Like, this is how crazy it is. That's and some ridiculous. Of the sacrifices you have to make. I was literally gonna fly home for a 1-hour meeting and fly back.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but sometimes you have to do that. And, God, dude, I remember, I'll kind of go on a tangent here, but I think it'll tie in. Like, I remember, I started my first business. I mean, if you count, like, lawn mowing and car washes, like some of these guys, talk about. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 8 years old. But, like, officially, I launched my first LLC at, like, 19, 20 years old. I raised $3 million for that business. $3 million. This is 24 years ago.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of fucking money. It's a lot of money today. It's a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, I my first business, I was a millionaire on paper by the time I was 22, 23, because the stock value, the equity value, this is what I teach people, the enterprise value of the business, but it wasn't cash. It was just stock, right? But I was a millionaire. And then that business, like, we grew ourselves out of business, and then I was broke and broken, and I was $100,000 in debt, no college education, working at a pizza place. And then the next business I started, I knocked it out of the fucking park. We were doing, like, $60 million a year, 500 employees. That's Ferrari Nick, and I was making tons of money. And I remember I caught up with some buddies from high school, and we were at a wedding. And, dude, I'm making a couple $100,000 a month, and I'm 27, 28 years old, right? And, I'm kind of a lunatic. And one of the guys goes, you know what, man? You got lucky.
You got lucky. I love when they say that.
And this is like a good friend of mine,
you take as an entrepreneur, you take big time offense when somebody says that.
He goes, you got lucky.
That's
and
sick.
I was like, I got lucky? How did I get lucky? And he's like, well, you got no wife, you got no kids, you got no mortgage. Like, you can take risks that we can't. And I was like, what do you mean we can't? Like, you got a turd in your pocket? What's this we thing? Like, we all can take sacrifices. Like, this country was built on sacrifices and chances and things that, like, people were willing to go to fucking war to create this country that you have the freedom of choice to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
So what do you mean I got lucky? Well, you dropped out of school. How is that luck? Like, I just chose that. And so I put it back on him. I said, hey, listen, let me ask you a question. Like, you got a mortgage, right? And he's like, yeah. I go, and you're married, right? And he goes, yeah. And I don't know if he had kids at the time, but let's just pretend he did. I said, and you got kids right now, right? Yeah, I do. Okay. So, like, could you sell the house? Of course I could. And if you sold the house, do you think you could move in with your in-laws? And he's like, yeah, my in-laws would let us move in there. And you could probably stay there for how long before they got pissed off? Probably a couple of years. And they wouldn't charge you anything, would they? No, they wouldn't charge me anything. And, like, there'd be plenty of room for you guys. You'd be sheltered. You'd be fed. You'd have this home. And then and your wife, I know her. She's pretty cool. Would she give you, like, time to go, like, work on this? Of course. And she would take care of the children. Yes, of course. And you would be in a home where you would be safe and like, let's just say you had to fucking do that and you had to shovel shit in your mouth, for 2 years. And you sacrificed everything. But at the end of that 2 years, I was going to be standing there like Ed McMahon with a big-ass check. And I said, here's your check for $3 million. And if you knew that $3 million and that 2 years of sacrifice would be there, would you do it? And he said, absolutely. I said, well, that's the difference between me and you, is I believe that check's there without knowing it's going to be there. And I'm willing to do all the things I just described to you. And I have done that. And that's why I'm here now. So luck my fucking ass.
Good response. I had something similar just like that, right? I was at a Christmas party a couple years ago with my wife's side in Jersey, and one of her cousins, nice guy, married with a kid. I was like, hey, man, how's it going? And I haven't seen him in like a year. He's like, terrible. I'm like, terrible? He's like, dude, can we talk? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, let's go outside. I'm like, I know what he was going to say. What's up? You all right? No, man, I'm just fucking miserable. Dude, I got this shitty job at ADP. I fucking hate my boss. And every day I'm there, I get a shitty paycheck. I got nowhere to grow in the company. The money sucks, but I got a mortgage. I got to get health. I have a baby now. I'm just fucking stuck, and my life is this way. Like, almost shedding a tear.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, what are you going to do? He's like, I don't know. What can I do? I said, when we tell you what you could do, he goes, this is what you have. Now, I know this kid's like a big pot smoker, watches TV a lot. I was like, look, I'm going to tell you what you have to do. I said, you got to start some kind of side business, and you got to work on it at nighttime after work from like 5 to 9 o'clock every single night. Mm-hmm. It's going to take you 2 or 3 years. You're not going to be sat watching no more Netflix and watching your movies and your TV shows and getting high all the time. And if you work on that business every single night for 2 or 3 years, whatever you do, eventually enough with that income besides replace the income at your ADP job, then you could go full force with the business. But that's what you have to do. Are you willing to do that? He goes, no. He goes, no. I go, okay. Well, then this is your life. Then
yeah.
that's okay. That freedom of choice,
right? And like, my kids are 8 and 9, and they know that you have the freedom of choice, but not. And if they were here, they'd say the freedom of circumstance, Daddy. And because I'm teaching them young, like, hey, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but you have to be willing to accept the consequences for those actions.
Yep.
I have been putting myself on the line for 25 years, willing to bet it all on me. And man, like the ace of spades has come up a couple of times and broke the bank. But like, they couldn't break my spirit. They couldn't break my entrepreneurial drive. One of the things that I'm the most proud of is that when shit went down, and you witnessed this, when shit went down in 2019, and I lost everything. Well, I thought I lost everything. It was great friends and like you and people that I'm in groups and masterminds with. And the guy's like, dude, you didn't lose everything. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I lost this, I lost that. I can barely afford this. I can barely afford that. He's like, let me ask you something. Did you lose your wife? And I said, no. Did you lose your children? I said, no. Did you lose he's a God-fearing man. Did you lose your salvation? I said, no. He said, did you lose the man, the mindset, the skill set, the Rolodex, and the experience that built it all in the first place? And I said, no. He goes, well, you could have fooled me about all of that the way you're acting.
That was good.
Yeah, and he goes, let me ask you, are you smarter?
Get this guy on the podcast.
He goes, are you smarter now, or are you less intelligent? I'm like, smarter. He's like, are you more connected or less connected? More connected. Like, do you have a bigger fire under your ass? Or are you comfortable? I'm like, huge fucking fire. And he's like, then just get out there. And he's like, almost like a cut guy. Get back in the fucking ring and keep fighting and remember who you are. And I was like, you're right.
It's like ready to run through a fucking wall.
Dude, and literally the next month, I created $50,000 of take-home income. Take-home income. And with that one.
Where's this guy?
Yeah, he's in Tennessee. He's kind of a shy guy. But I love him to death. But I mean, that's it. Like, that's like, you're gonna have to make sacrifices as a CEO. Fuck that. You're gonna make sacrifices as a human being.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have to sacrifice what you want for what you're willing to do. And if those two things aren't aligned, you're gonna pay a whole life of sacrifice. The piper gets paid regardless. So this depends on what sacrifice you're willing to make. But as a CEO, sacrifice time, sacrifice money to hopefully someday have a lot more time and a lot more money. And how you can get that is you can continue to like, subscribe, and watch this podcast. Because in these cards, we're going to tell you how to not have to sacrifice as much because you already made the sacrifice. Was that a good quickie?
That was great.
Do you want to smoke a cigarette or something?
Yeah, I feel good.
Well, this has been another episode of the Founders Table where we talk about strays and quickies. But we talk about topics that you face every day so your card doesn't get pulled, and we do it for you. I'm Nick Long. This is Anthony Busciglio. Stay tuned for another episode of the Founders Table. Like, subscribe, and share with a friend. We're out.